Welcome back, my movie lovers, to another Norman Zedrick the Critic review. I'm Alec Perez. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We are not going to be reviewing any movies. We're going to be ranking the best of the best. And if you do not know what the best of the best means, it means that we are going to be reviewing a lead character that is notable in a movie franchise. We're going to be talking about the character Willy Wonka. But before we begin, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and link the bell to get notified about every ranking or the best of the best reviews. So today, I wanted to change it up a little bit, give something a little bit more different, take movie reviewing off to the side, and go with ranking a lead character. And today, I wanted to talk about Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka is one of the most influential characters in the history of the world. I grew up watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Johnny Depp's movie. So if you come to me and you want me to recite the film, I can basically remember it from a heartbeat. That's how well I remember it. But I wanted it to be more fun since we have two other actors that portray this role of the mysterious, creative, chocolate-making Willy Wonka. We have two performers. The most notable one that is the most popular, Gene Wilder's performance, and most recent one, Timothée Chalamet. Now, I briefly mentioned in my Dune review, if you guys wanted a predicts of Willy Wonka, I started thinking about it more, figured and decided to do a best of the best of a character. So without further ado, let's get into the best of the best. I have 5 categories. So I have best actor for playing the lead character, the best side character, the best supporting actor, the best story, movie length, and visual effects, and the best of the lead character's look. So without further ado, let's get into the best of the best. Alright, so the first category is the best actor for playing Willy Wonka. So we have 3 performers that portray Willy Wonka himself. So the first one we're going to mention about is Timothée Chalamet's performance, since this movie goes way back when Willy Wonka began his love for chocolate making. So the story takes place in Willy Wonka going into the big city and starting his chocolate making career. He is very broke, has to find a place to stay. He finds a very restricted place, kind of tricks you and put you to work right away. He meets the noodle, and that's where we see Willy Wonka being Willy Wonka. What I have to say about Timothée Chalamet's performance is he is actually very, very good. Director Paul Kane hired him immediately. I don't think they had to audition anybody else. They chose Timothée Chalamet right away. And I think he made a very great, excellent choice of the actor, because Timothée is the best actor I've seen in Hollywood so far in this decade. He's blown up with Dune. He's blowing up with Willy Wonka. I think he's great. Next up, we have Gene Wilder, the one that started Willy Wonka. Even though he is not alive, he died in 2016. A very notable, chocolate maker. The story takes place on Charlie Puckett, who is very shy and has big dreams. He lives in a very poor family. His father died. It's just him, his mother, and 2 grandparents from his mom's side and his dad's side. And Willy Wonka is passing out 5 golden tickets to very lucky 5 children to go visit his chocolate factory. And Charlie Puckett was lucky enough to get that golden ticket and visits the chocolate factory, became the winner to being the nicest out of all the 4 children. But anyways, Gene Wilder, I believe, brings an excellent performance. He's charismatic. He's funny. He's very mysterious. He has very gripping moments in there that shock you so very much, and which is why I think he does a very great, excellent performance. I believe that's where Timothée Chalamet got most of his performance. Another nomination that I would like to mention is Johnny Depp's performance. So it's basically the same as the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. It goes more in depth of Charlie Bucket and his family, and it goes more fully in depth with Willy Wonka. Johnny Depp's performance, if you guys know me very well, I really love Johnny Depp. Whatever movie Johnny Depp is in, I would watch it no matter what. Him as Willy Wonka, he actually does give a good performance. I wouldn't say he's like the best as Gene Wilder was. They made Johnny Depp more too fancy, very sarcastic in his movie. But what do I think about the performances? I think they give their excellent performances, even though there are minor details that I kind of wish they did better. But if I had to choose a winner for this would have to go with Gene Wilder, with Timothée Chalamet in second and Johnny Depp in third. Next, we have best side characters. We're going to be talking more about the Oompa Loompa character. And if you guys do not know what an Oompa Loompa is, go watch the movies. We have Hugh Grant playing as Oompa Loompa. This Oompa Loompa was CGI'd. They copied Hugh Grant's face and captured it Oompa Loompa size. But what do I think about this performance? He gives actually a very great performance. And even though we don't get to see a whole lot of his character in Wonka, I think he does a pretty performance, which is why he's notable mention. And then we have the very classic, those orange, green-haired, singing, loving Oompa Loompas in the 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. Now, you don't really get to see him a whole lot since they're helpers for Willy Wonka, but I wish they were more in there. I'm about to talk about the Oompa Loompa that scares me a heck, the Oompa Loompa in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, portrayed by Deep Roy. Now, those sing, but they don't sing exactly as the Oompa Loompas do in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, they teach you a lesson, but they do it in a big musical song. We don't need like a 2-minute long song to teach kids a lesson, but I don't know, that's just me personally. I don't like the casting choice that Tim Burton did for the Oompa Loompas. They look very creepy. They're not the orange, green loving Oompa Loompas. That is all of the Oompa Loompas that we're talking about, but if I had to choose a winner for this, it would be the Hugh Grant performance in the prequel Wonka movie. In first place, the Oompa Loompa from 1971 in second, and the Deep Roy Oompa Loompa in third place. Our third category, we have Best Side Character, the supporting actor. Now, if you guys are asking me which side character I'm talking about, we're talking about Charlie Bucket. Now, the first one we're going to mention, it's not Charlie Bucket, but it's a side character by the name of Noodle, portrayed by Calla Lane. Noodle is, I guess you would say, an orphan, but she has a mother she lost when she was a baby. But I had to bring her a mention since she's the side character to Willy Wonka. Her character is lonely, sad. She is very funny, and Willy Wonka brings her spirits up. A very nice, lovely little young lady. But I wouldn't say she's probably one of my best supporting actors in this movie. She gives a good performance. I don't think she is the best of the best. Moving on, next we have Charlie Bucket in the 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, portrayed by Peter Ostrom. This performance was pretty good. He doesn't act, he's a veterinarian. I think he just gives his excellent performance. He plays that shy, loving, young Charlie Bucket who just has big dreams of his own. He's very innocent. He's very loving. I really liked his performance. And then we have Charlie Bucket, portrayed by Freddie Highmore in the 2005 movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, I didn't really like Freddie Highmore's performance. I think this Charlie Bucket's more arrogant. He's very protective of his family, and that's not a problem. I wish they brought that innocent Charlie Bucket into this character more in Tim Burton's version, but I think he went too hard on him. Now, what do I think about all these characters? They give their excellent performance, but if I had to really choose and what really fits the character, I'm gonna have to go with number one, Charlie Bucket in the 1971 version. Congrats, Peter Ostrom, if you're watching this. In second place, I have Freddie Highmore's performance as Charlie Bucket. And then third, I have Noodle Calla Lane. The fourth mention, the best story, movie length, and visual effects. Now, I'm not going to get into the full story since I mentioned about it when I'm talking about the characters. I'm going to have to say they give their definitions of the story. I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory succeeded with the story. Let's go back to the first movie. Let's talk about the Wonka movie. The Wonka movie gives a full definition of where Willy Wonka came in, started his business with his new side character, Noodle. I think they succeeded with the story. We get to know more about Timothée Chalamet a bit more in this than we did in the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. The visual effects, I think they were a bit too CGI'd. Wish it was better, but it was still a good movie, a good story. They did their part in it. My next one is the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So this one, I think they had to get more in story depth. It's a very clear understanding story. It's 5 children getting golden tickets and going to the chocolate factory and actually experiencing it with Willy Wonka. But it doesn't go full story into depth of why Willy Wonka was asking these kids to come to his chocolate factory. We have to find out, like, toward the ending that Willy Wonka wanted to give the factory to him and ask his family to move in. What I'm upset, though, about this movie, the way they end it is they ride this elevator floating machine that will send you really high up into the sky. It ends with Willy Wonka telling that he gets the factory. The last line in it says happily ever after. We don't have to see anything else with this movie, but I wish they did better with the story. And it ends them floating up to the sky. It ends with the cast credit scene, and I wish they did better. Now we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think they went fully into depth of the character Willy Wonka, Charlie Bucket, and his family. They went fully into story of the family. They had a narrator, which helps very much. And the visual effects were actually really good. It looked very realistic. The chocolate looked very realistic. The first scene when they see that lava of chocolate falling, kind of like Niagara Falls, Augustus Gloop falling into the chocolate, it's very realistic. And then when you see it in the Willy Wonka film, it just looks like muddy water. I was watching the behind the scenes on YouTube, and it was actually a muddy water. Just speaking experience. But going all over this, I have made a very tough decision. They are really good, but if I had to choose one, I would have to do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in first place for best story, movie length, and visual effects, with Wonka in second place, and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in third place. Our last category, we have the best Willy Wonka look. I'm going to start with Timothée Chalamet's look. He has a red vest with a tie tucked into him and the overall shirt. I think it's a good look, but I think it's a little too bright. Bringing too much brightness into him. Need to be more casual, which is why I really like Gene Wilder's look. He wears a purple vest. He's got that big tie on him, and he wears the overalls too. Putting those two together, they wear the same thing, but it's very difficult when choosing between which is better and which is not better. It's a mix between any of those. And then we go into Johnny Depp's look. He's very classy. He's got the gloves on, a very fancy vest. He doesn't wear overalls. It's all black. I wish with Tim Burton's movie, he should have made him more vestier. I think he was too casual. He was too classy. It was a very hard decision to make. But if I had to choose the best of the best look, I would have to go with Gene Wilder. And the reason I'm choosing Gene Wilder is because it's very casual, a good look at the top hat, which is why he is in first place, with Timothée Chalamet in second, and Johnny Depp in third place. Alright, so we just talked about our 5 categories, and the first place is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, second place Wonka, and third place Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I think it was a good win right here. We get their mistakes. I think they gave their best to best, even though there were maybe some other things that I wish they did better, and then some things that were much better. They all have their weaknesses. Everybody has their different opinions. These are just my personal opinions of the movies itself. But overall, the movies execute very well of being a great, empowering, teachable movies we get in the movie industry. But that is the best of the best to the character Willy Wonka. Let me know what you guys thought of this best of the best review. And if you guys really liked this video, I would appreciate if you gave this video a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. And also we have Instagram and Facebook. With that being said, thank you guys again for watching the best of the best of Willy Wonka, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.